Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. It is Evo Japan time, and that means there's a lot of interesting news and reveals about fighting games going on. And yes, that is one Salvatore Ganacci on stage here at Evo Japan. Turns out my little bit of detective work from earlier, it was correct, he is there on site. And besides Lord Ganacci being on site, we got a lot of interesting news about, well, just fighting games in general. A lot of details about a lot of different games on day one here at Evo Japan, so we'll be covering a lot of different topics, and also some potential hints of what might be coming later in the weekend. One of those things being Virtua Fighter. No Virtua Fighter news just yet. They do have their own little area set up here, and there's going to be the larger Beat Tribe Cup tournament happening as well. As you can see here by this picture by Justin Wong himself, though, their booth has the new Virtua Fighter heavily advertised on it. So the fact that they're actually just actively highlighting it says maybe something's going to happen. Virtua Fighter 5, along with Street Fighter 6, is also closing out Evo Japan, so you feel like something special is going to happen there. At least, well, you hope so anyways, right? It's time. It's about time we get some more Virtua Fighter news. So besides that, what's going on in the wide world of fighting games? Well, let's start with Street Fighter, I suppose. So there is a build with Elena on site, and no photos or video is allowed to be taken, which certainly makes it a bit harder to get more concrete info on it. For Guilty Gear and Unica, yes, we already knew that photography and videos were going to be forbidden. We didn't know that for Elena until day of. So what you're seeing right now has been provided by Street Fighter producer Takayuki Nakayama. Basically, you know, the versus screen idle select, right? Now, Elena, just like Eddie Gordo, uses the Barum Bao, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, heavily associated with Capoeira. And so, yeah, that's a cool little touch. Now, there's no photography, there's no cameras or video footage allowed for the playtest of Elena, and the build only has Elena, no other characters, but people have had hands-on with it. So you would assume this is the build we'll have for Season 3, and I'm not going to build your hopes up just yet, but maybe, just maybe, throw loops might be gone. So Defeat Lee had some hands-on time with the character, and one of the things that they note out of the gate is there is no throw loop from forward or back throw, even when she drive rushes, and in other parts of the thread would specify, yes, this is in the corner. We went over it in another video, but just going by the frames in the trailer, she had the frames to throw loop, right? It was possible for her to throw loop, just throw, dash forward, and do something else, as long as she had the range. So she might not have the range, or maybe the trailer was a different build. Defeat Lee would also go on to say that throw into drive rush, into attempting to throw loop again, would always lose the wake up jab. So maybe throw loops are gone, or maybe she's like Chun-Li and Honda, the two characters that can't throw loop. So basically the mystery persists. Maybe throw loops will be gone across the board. Once again, they went out of the way to make sure this build has exactly one character, Elena, that's it. So you specifically cannot test everybody else. Or maybe she's just like poor Honda and Chun-Li and just can't throw loop. We'll find out come the day, I guess. Also by Defeat Lee, it seems healing heals about 1200 points of health, which is not nothing. And keep in mind, healing's on the back of a level 2, which deals damage as well, so you wouldn't want it to heal too much. Also, it looks like in the new build that Modern as a whole might be getting buffed as well, so if you buff Modern too much, it kind of might become the standard. You gotta watch out for that. We'll see how that turns out. Now, we do have more Street Fighter related news besides that came out of Evo Japan, officially anyways, because this did leak out a few days ago, if you caught me talking about it on Twitter. So yes, there will be an official Overwatch Cross Street Fighter 6 collaboration. And yes, rest assured, this collaboration only goes one way. So Overwatch will be getting a bunch of Street Fighter related skins, and well, Street Fighter 6 not so much in the skin and costume business, as we've spent way too much talking about over, well, the years now. Maybe come Season 3 we'll get some lobby avatars out of it. Ugh. Anyways, so our skins are as follows. Zenyatta is Dalsum, Soldier 76 is Guile, Winston is Blanca, Hanzo is Ryu, Juno is Chun-Li, Widowmaker is Cammy, Sigma is Bison, and Kiriko is Juri. It's been some time since I've been on the Overwatch train personally, so I don't know all these characters, but at least I can say Zenyatta as Dalsum is inspired. Also, Juri stole Honda's spot, because Honda Roadhog writes itself. But yeah, cool collaboration, good for the brand, good for awareness, all that kind of stuff. If you're into Overwatch 2, I gotta assume you're probably pretty cool with this. But if you're only into Street Fighter, well, you're not gonna get much out of it, unfortunately. Next up, let's talk some Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. Real quick here, do a very rare self-shill. If you didn't see the community post, I'm going to be watching the show finally. I've never watched a show, but to the lead up to the game, I want to get hype, so I'm going to watch a show. And as I'm watching it, I'm going to be doing a podcast, basically, just talking about my thoughts about the show in general. Expect that to probably go up on the Clips channel, because it doesn't really fit this channel, and probably live sometime later this month. And we're just going to go till I watch the whole series. So now that said, about Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. So yes, it is here at EVO Japan. It's a later build. It has a lot more characters than you may have seen in some other previous builds of the game. And with this came a fun little bit of news. So sometime before launch, no specific dates just yet, it looks like Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact will be getting a beta test. So if you're looking to get your hands on the game before it actually comes out, well, this would be the way to do it. Auto-translate's not perfect, so it could also be a demo instead of a beta test, but either way, you will be able to get your hands on the game. Unless you go to specific events, there's basically been no way to play the game yet for the average person, and the game is pretty cool. Like, it's definitely a crazy game, but that's a selling point, not a negative here. The game does come out later in July, so we're actually not too far away from the actual launch of the game, so keep it in mind. Now, moving on to Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. So I guess this is the first like really big tournament for the game. And also Andy Bogard, our first DLC character, which will be free by the way, is playable on site. And we have some very interesting details on him because like Andy still does a lot of the Andy things, but he's leveling up. Specifically, Andy's kinda turning into Akuma now, because he has an air fireball and he also has effectively Akuma's demon flip. Also, Andy just looks a lot nastier now. Like, look at this move here. This is his hidden gear. And this is kind of cold for Andy. Andy's not normally that kind of guy. Like, not saying he doesn't got it in him or nothing, but just it's a level of like meanness I don't expect out of Andy. Now, unlike Arc System Works and Capcom, SNK is allowing photos and video to be taken, so there's not a lot out there just yet, but expect quite a bit of it to filter through the internet in the coming days. And you would hope to have to assume that a trailer for the character will be out sometime soon-ish. And for other things in and around EVO Japan happening, so we got an announcement for Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games, the anime. This was a manga series starting around 2020, and it's made some waves to the point where some things I've seen out of it, I don't know if it's real or edited. Like, I've seen this one a million times. I have no idea if that's actually in the comic or not, to be honest with you. The anime, however, in copious what you would call cross-branding synergy, will heavily focus on Street Fighter 6, though. Street Fighter 6 hitting extra hard in Japan lately, so it makes sense. You know, it's the game to go with. Certainly better than an anime where people complain about the Tekken 8 Season 2 patch. That would probably be a very different kind of show. So I don't know the first thing about the manga, but I guess at this point, when this anime does come out, I am honor bound to watch it. Also, in a fun bit of serendipity, breaking news can break while you're editing a video. So at the top of the video, when I was talking about, hey, maybe more Virtua Fighter stuff, hey, we got more Virtua Fighter stuff. So Sunday, May 11th, 7 a.m. Pacific, we will have another Virtua Fighter Direct. So look forward to the latest Virtua Fighter 6 news. I'll be there with bells on for sure. And that's about it for now. This is going to be a multi-day event, so there's going to be more news to happen for sure across everything. And rest assured on the channel here, if there's anything newsworthy happening at the event happens past what we've already talked about, we'll be making some more videos to cover it all. But that said, that's the news for the moment. And well, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.